Sunday. I'm going to bring you guys along with me today. We're making some apple cobbler. I know this says peach, but since it's fall, we're making it with some apples. This is my favorite cobbler recipe ever. It's kind of different than any other cobbler I've ever had. My mom has always made it. It's super good. So I'm gonna bring you guys along with me and show you how I make it. And this is really special because sharing this recipe, very near and dear to my heart. But without further ado, let's get into it. So I am going to start by washing and peeling my apples, and then I'm going to use an apple core and cut them into even slices. Any baking apples will do. I'm using Honeycrisp today, but you can use any kind of apples that you like. So I'm gonna get started washing these and cutting them up, and I'll check back in with you for the next step. So I just peeled and cut all of my apples and put them in a large saucepan, and I'm getting ready to put a cup of sugar in there and reduce those down, let them get soft before I put them into the cobbler mixture. All right, I'm gonna turn my burner on medium-high heat, and then I'm gonna add my cup of sugar right on top of my fruit. So just make sure all the apples are coated, and I'll stir that sugar around in there, and it starts to reduce pretty quickly, but I'm gonna let those cook down and do some of the other steps while these are cooking. Go ahead and preheat my oven to 350. And while your apples are cooking, you wanna keep stirring them so none of that sugar burns. But you'll see on the bottom they're starting to reduce, and they'll make their own juice. It'll get really syrupy, and they'll start to cook and get really soft. So in the spirit of fall, my oven's ready. In the spirit of fall, I'm gonna go ahead and add some cinnamon in here. And once it's in there, just give it a good stir. And I'm also gonna add some to the actual cobbler mixture. It is pretty good and reduced. Everything is soft. So you just wanna make sure they're tender. Stick a fork in them, but these I can tell are ready to go. And you just look at them. So good. Just using this ramekin. It's a really large one and it's really deep, but you can also use a baking dish or a cake pan as long as it has really deep sides, because the batter cooks up around the fruit, and if not, it can drain out of the sides. So I'm gonna stick this in the oven and let it melt while I make my batter mixture. Okay, for the batter, you're gonna need a cup of self-rising flour, and make sure it is self-rising because right before this, I made the whole batter and used regular flour. So self-rising flour, or it will not turn out right. It will be like a brick at the bottom. So 1 cup of self-rising flour, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 cup of milk. Super easy, super simple. So I'm gonna whip this up again the right way and get it going. You wanna make sure your batter is all mixed together and that there's no lumps. It should be really thin. That's how it's supposed to look. And I'm gonna check on the butter and see if that's done. And then once that is all melted, you will combine your batter and your butter and pour your hot fruit right in the middle. I wish you could smell what it smells like in the kitchen. It smells like apples and cinnamon and fall. And this week it's supposed to be really cold, really fallish weather. So I'm super excited and I'm just ready to eat this. It's gonna be so good. Okay, so now that my butter is melted, I'm gonna go ahead and add my batter mixture of my milk, sugar, and flour, self-rising flour. I cannot say this enough. Self-rising flour, and mix it into my butter, and then I'm gonna pour my hot fruit right in the middle. apple mixture right here, and I'm gonna pour it just right in the middle. All right, this is what it looks like. It doesn't look very pretty right now, but once it bakes, let me tell you, it is gonna be so good. And I usually will put a cookie sheet underneath this, so if anything does boil over, it won't burn on the bottom of my oven. So I'm going to cook in the oven for 30 minutes at 350 degrees, and I'm gonna check on it about halfway through just to see if it's rising and how it's doing. But I will see you in 30 minutes. Is seriously always in the way when I'm cooking. Here's the oven, here's Maverick, but that's okay. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and check on it, and it is looking so good. It needs to get a little bit more brown on the top, but it has a few more minutes, so I'm gonna let it bake a little longer, and then I will show you what the finished product looks like. This is what it looks like. Usually, sometimes I'll let it get a little more brown on top, but the sides were browning and I didn't want them to get burnt. But I cannot wait to let this cool and then put some vanilla ice cream on top. It is going to be so good. I highly recommend trying this, especially with apple, and in the summertime with peaches. It's so delicious. But yeah, this is the finished product, and you can eat it plain by itself, but it is really good with some whipped cream, and even better with some vanilla ice cream on top. So I think that is it for my little cooking video and making my mom's peach/apple cobbler. But if you guys like this, or if you tried the recipe, please comment down below and let me know. As always, like and subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications so you can know whenever I post a video. Right now I'm trying to post every Saturday, but maybe a little cook with me video. I don't know when exactly this video will go up, but I try to be consistent. Blog posts on Wednesdays and YouTube videos on Saturdays. Also, I apologize for the lighting in any of my last videos or this one. We are just working with what we got until we get into our new house. So just give your girl some grace, you know, things will get better. And I'm just starting out at this. So thank you guys for supporting me and everybody who has subscribed. I really, really appreciate it because it is hard putting yourself out there. But I think I'm gonna go and get ready for bed and get ready for work tomorrow. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.